For example, like Hannah, or you were saying, in 2020, I was fortunate enough to be on the ground almost every day, organizing, empowering youth, especially Black and brown youth in Orange County. But what I seen was during these uprisings, we had white supremacist groups like Proud Boys, Patriot Front, and other white supremacist groups in Orange County, by the way, bearing arms, coming to these, peaceful, nonviolent rallies and bearing arms, brandishing firearms while police were there. But when we, as Black and brown folks in 2020, wanted to defend ourselves, maybe bring some pepper spray or maybe have a taser in a backpack. I've seen many of my friends get arrested, 10 years, 20 years, get stopped and frisked.
I agree.
While white supremacists were brandishing weapons in front of 10 to 15-year-old Black and brown people. So that's why I disagreed, because I think our American government, they tend to pick and choose which citizens in America get to bear arms.
And I think that the Black Panthers is a perfect example of that. That's exactly what was going on with the Black Panthers. They armed themselves to be able to stand up to a government that was putting a tax on them, basically, right? We all know what happens, right? It's in practice, like, yes, the Second Amendment, that's what it's supposed to do, but it depends who has the weapons.
I actually kind of disagree with the prompt for a different reason. I feel like, for me personally, I don't like guns, right? And I'm not gonna encourage anyone that I know to get a gun. And I just don't like anything really violent. And you could say that oh, I'm living in a fairy tale world because I don't wanna use violence and stuff like that. And I definitely am, but I mean, the bottom line is I don't like violence, and I'm not going to advocate for anyone to perform acts of violence.
But you see, I respect those type of people. That's fine. If you don't like violence and you want to be great, that's cool, but would you ever want to protect yourself?
Well, I'm fortunate enough to live in an area that's pretty safe. I don't feel scared or the need to protect myself when I am walking alone at night, which is great. I'm really fortunate for that.
That's good. See, it's all where you live.
It's where you live.
You will not always be that fortunate. I mean, they will
Let's
find
go back
you.
to the prompt. We're talking about citizens having guns to protect themselves from the government.
There's so many arguments to want a gun, right? I think the self-protection is probably one of the strongest ones.